Welcome back to the Fire Grind. My name is Daniel, and today we're going to be talking about Well Health Technologies. And I decided to talk about Well Health Technologies today just because of the recent price movement in the stock. And if you're an investor in Well Health Technologies, you may have noticed that your portfolio or your position in Well Health Technologies has dropped fairly significantly in the past couple of days. It's declined about 10% from its all-time highs of 520. And today we're actually sitting around 458. So I decided to do an update video and just share with you guys what are my thoughts and why is the stock moving downwards. Because if we look at the news, let me just pop over to the news tab. The news tab, we can see that the last piece of news that was released was on August 11th. And if we correlate that to the charts, we can see that August 11th was right around here. And we saw that it had a downwards movement that day, but I think the news possibly released after hours. And then we saw the stock price shoot up. But since then, we haven't heard any news from Well Health Technologies. And today we just saw a huge downwards movement, basically dropped by 7%. So I'm going to share with you in this video what I think is happening to Well Health Technologies and why the stock is pulling back. And just before we move on, I just want to say sorry for the lower quality budget videos. Right now I'm in the process, or was in the process, of selling my condo. So we had to clean up the place and I had to move all my recording gear out of the way. And I just wasn't able to put as much effort into it just because I had other things in life. So I'm just going to be making a quick video today about Well Health Technologies and giving you that update. But stay tuned for more videos. I think this weekend I plan to come up with 3 stocks for September, as well as a review on a couple other smaller stocks. So stay tuned for that. If you're new here, subscribe. Also, an early thumbs up will be awesome. So let's get right into the content. So you can see right here, Well Health Technologies, they had a dive down in the past, 2 days or so. But we can see the huge run up that the stock has taken. And this run up was basically from $3 all the way to $5. And if you take a look at that percentage wise, that's roughly around a 60% run up in the month of August. And I think right now, all it is just a small pullback. And just like all stocks, when there's a huge run up, I think right now investors are realizing either it's time to sell out, or they see the stock dropping and they're like, oh crap, I got in at 520 and it's dropping now. I better just cut my losses and sell. And I think that's why we saw some huge movement today. Likely more so from people who bought somewhere down here were selling off. And I think the reason why people started selling off at this price today is we can see that there's a bit of a pattern forming right around here. So I'm just going to draw a couple lines to show you what it looks like. So you can actually see there was a small triangle pattern forming. So you see that triangle right here where it started with this green candle where it spiked up, and then we had a red candle, and it sort of like petered around here, but it was converging to the price of around 515 or 510. But when there's a full candle that broke below this line, then we could see that the price kept moving downwards rapidly. And I think that a lot of day traders or just swing traders are seeing this, and that's why we saw a huge sell-off today. And if you guys aren't familiar with technical analysis, right now I'm still learning more about it, but I found out that the triangle pattern here, if we go to this page, Investopedia, triangles are among the most popular chart patterns used in technical analysis, and they frequently occur compared to other patterns. And we can see that there's 3 types of triangles: the symmetrical, ascending, and descending. And if we go back to Well Health Technologies, I would say this is a symmetrical triangle because the triangle itself is not pointing upwards or downwards, it's pointing to the side. And we can see that for triangles, it only signals that a breakout is likely to occur, but it doesn't tell you the direction. So with this triangle that we saw in Well Health Technologies, we didn't know if it was going up or down. But once it broke one of those lines, like with this candle here, we knew it was going down, which is why I think we saw a huge sell-off today. Because those people who trade on technicals know that with this one candle here, the next day's got to be red. If we go further into the chart and see the 1 hour chart, let's just draw the triangle out here so you guys can see. So the triangle looks like this. And you can see that today with the 1 hour chart, it was actually yesterday or 2 days ago on the 25th, it broke down below that. And then it just sunk down even further. So I think right now, if you're looking at Well Health Technologies, there's nothing that the company released that warranted this huge sell-off. It's more so just investors trading in and out of the stock. So if you're holding on to Well Health Technologies for the long term, Honestly, I wouldn't worry too much about this downturn in the stock. It's more so just the day traders or swing traders that are playing this up. But if you're a short-term investor in the stock, I don't know when you're going to recover your losses if you bought at the $5 mark or see the stock fly back up to $5. Honestly, if you're a long-term investor, I would stay invested in this company because I do love the fundamental business. They own clinics, which drive the revenue, as well as they're building out their software services, which will drive even more profitability in the future. And the software services is where they're going to see the highest margin, which I think they right now have around a 41% margin on their software products, which is going to offset their lower margins on their clinics. So if you're a long-term investor, stay invested in WELL Health Technologies. I believe that this company is going to do great things in the future. And if you share that same conviction, then by all means do the same thing. But again, this is not financial advice, and this is just me telling maybe my brother what to do, and telling family is fine. But for me, I'm just a random stranger on the internet, and don't listen to everything I say. You should also do your own research. So that's all I have to share with you guys about WELL Health Technologies today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Smash the like button if you enjoyed it and got any sort of value out of it. Leave any comments if you have any other insights to share about WELL Health Technologies, and I'd love to hear from you guys. Keep up the grind and have a great day. Also, P.S. Sorry for all the little rattling noises in the background. Tyke is here just playing with her rubber ball and just shaking it everywhere. So, if you hear any sort of like banging in the background, that's her. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say. Have a great day.